Hey, my little goofballs, are you all getting tired of me saying I didn't get anything done for you? Because that happened again. My company kind of opened up a new property this week, so we had to go to dinners and ribbon cuttings, and then I kind of worked on the other goofball race cars, Canada's Wonderland's Victoria Falls build. So that evening, that's pretty much all I got done. We didn't even come into Wilderness Springs. But, you know, nonetheless, we're making progress. It's slow. I did tinker a little bit with Enchanted Forest. Got you guys a little flat ride in here that is very, very popular. As you can see, I thought it would be cool. Like, I thought this would be enough. I wanted to have the little queue line kind of come by as the creek's coming by. But they really love this little guy. Remember, this used to be like, I want to call it the whirly rig from the original Planet Coaster. Remember, it was like pirate themed, like these were almost little buckets. So yeah, that is kind of like, this is the first ride you essentially encounter if you're coming into Enchanted Forest from this way. So, you know, pretty cool. Got the little kid coaster in the background. If you turn this way, I've brought a little waterfall, kind of from over where the new waterfall is, where I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, I thought it would be cool to have a waterfall in Enchanted Forest, and you guys know I am the waterfall guy. Still have, Barnstormer peeking out over the top. This, I still think back in this little area is where I still want to do that sensory room, kind of just tucked away back in the trees, just off of the waterfall. And so we've kind of got that earmarked for that. May have to move some of those trees or slide the lemonade stand down a little bit, but we'll definitely start working on that and getting that in there. Other than that, just a little bit of path tidying. I got the little canoe out here and this is a really cool shot with the train going by. If you just so happen to be going this way out of the land. But yeah, just path tidying up. Started working on a little bit of an entrance over here for the coaster. For some reason, and this could just be plain, it's just not exciting. The game doesn't recognize it as a low kind of low intensity kid ride like we're intending it to be. And for some reason, when the ride opened up, it opened at $12.50 a ride. And I didn't notice it at first, and everybody's like, that's too high, we're not going on that. And so I lowered the price and nobody still has went on it. So I'm not sure if just like, in the game's eyes, of course, it doesn't know that this is an implied low intensity ride. And so I don't know if anybody will get on it. Honestly, so we might have to look into that. If you come this way, I have started a little bit of kind of like what the vibe that I want the spinning teacups to have, and that is this large kind of tree in the middle. And of course, we still have a lot of theming to go, and I think it would be cool to hang some lights from this tree. And yeah, so that is two flat rides in the land, and that still leaves us quite a bit of space over here for something as well, kind of butting up against Barnstormer. And so I don't know, we will have to figure something out. And we'll do a little nighttime check. I've not done necessarily a large lighting check over here, so this may need some catching up as well. Well, that's a pretty cool glow. Yeah, that's very atmospheric. It's got the the glow that I like, that orangish glow. And then of course the giant willow tree, I have it lit up. Probably need to do some lighting on the waterfall just to kind of make it stand out a little more, and some bridge lighting. And your little teacups are not lit up right now. I got to figure out some kind of lighting for it as well. And the tree. I don't like that kind of bright white light sticking up through the tree. But, that's all things we can kind of mess with. as we go on here. And another thing you guys might have noticed and that you've been asking me about is, where is Yan's wing coaster? And it was one of those things where I don't think I could theme it like I want to. And some people were saying it's almost like that was out of the scope of Wilderness Springs. Like it was such an awesome, high intensity, giant wing coaster. But I think as far as replacing it goes, I've already started the idea here with what is eventually going to be a boat ride and an LSM launch coaster. So since I had to take out Yan's wing coaster, one of these rides I want to dedicate to him, or I was thinking even maybe doing like Jan's Riverside Restaurant. I was thinking over here somewhere near the Waterfalls could be a good ode to Yan, as far as like all of the help that he's done with the park, knowingly and unknowingly. But yeah, I was just thinking, as far as the storytelling goes and what I could make happen with theming, I think I could tell it better with a launched, more low to the ground, Big Bear Thunder Mountain, Hagrid's motorbike magical motorbike adventure, one of those type vibes back there. And then also too, we could sneak in what a lot of people were saying, that it would be fun if the park had its Jungle Cruise type of moment back here. And I think that could be very cool too. And then of course, a lot of you guys are asking what is going on with Legend of Thunder Falls. Still just in holding with it. I've not started on the dark ride section yet. It was one of those, this is one of those rides where I put so much into this front drop in this entrance area. I needed to take a break so I didn't rush the dark ride section, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just kind of waiting for inspiration to strike, waiting for that right moment to really get back there and tackle that. And I think the boat ride could probably also cut through this little corner and, come back this way. Maybe we'll do a station, or like I said, even Jan's Riverside Restaurant over here. So a lot of things going on, a lot of things still happening. But like I said, this was almost a wasted week as far as Wilderness Springs goes, purely just not having the time. But I think next week, I really think things go back to, quote unquote normal, to where I should have a few evenings to come back down in here and really kind of start working on some projects and some angles that I've been putting off, not to mention even on the water park side, not even nowhere near close to starting any of this. Bass Pro back here, of course, last time you saw, we've got the Cracker Barrel and the Bass Pro. That is still untouched. Have not messed with any more stores or any more ideas over there. Have kind of just been the little time that I did have. It has been Enchanted Forest focused. So, but that is that's the beauty about, like you guys say, we're not on any kind of time pressure on this. And that is what is so fun about this. I am just kind of building as inspiration strikes. Of course, we still really need to figure out a restaurant idea for Grizzly Gulch over here. That is something that's been highly requested, and waiting on some ideas to pop in with that. And yeah, we will just continue to roll on. And I think that even with all of the little side projects going on, I know it might aggravate a lot of you guys. Like, why is he starting so many things and not finishing? He's just jumping all over the park. And I think that's just kind of my style. And it's just like conducive of me getting out better product and not focusing too much on one area. This is kind of all by design. Remember how I said I didn't want to start 4 or 5 different parks or projects and jump all around and then, kind of inevitably get the man, are you ever going back to Wilderness Springs? What happened to that? I mean, even look, jumping over to the water park resort, the Alani Resort, and now it's kind of abandoned. You know, it's just, that's what I didn't want to happen. And that's why I don't want to start a bunch of projects, because instead of getting a bunch of really cool finished projects, you get a bunch of half done, half finished, you know, 70% parks. And that's what I didn't want to do. So that's why we are still just focusing on Wilderness Springs. You know, some people at work were like, yeah, but what about people that are like at the point of rolling their eyes now? Like, man, is this dude ever going to do anything else? I am tired of looking at this park. And, you know, that's what I say, just, you know, that's why we keep things fresh, keep new ideas coming, going back and re-looking at different areas of the park. You know, I tell them, as far as my audience goes, I haven't witnessed any Wilderness Springs fatigue personally. You know, even in the comment sections and the DMs on Instagram, everybody is pretty much still well invested in the Wilderness Springs 2.0 story. So I'm just going to keep going with it. We're going to keep knocking these projects out, and I'm sure inevitably we're going to come to a point where the park is, you know, pseudo finished again, with air quotes. But like I said, I think Wilderness Springs will be one of those projects we may always come back to and retool, just for the simple fact that, you know, new DLCs are going to come out, new pieces, new rides that we may think, oh my gosh, that fits in Wilderness Springs perfect. We got to go back and try that out. So, but yes, you know, one day we will wrap this up. But, you know, for right now, it's just a project I think we're still having a lot of fun with. There are still a lot of ideas that we can flesh out. And, you know, we're, like I said, just taking our time and having fun. That is the main goal that, remember, we set for ourselves with Planet Coaster 2. Have fun. Don't make the YouTube side of it a chore and, you know, make it to where this is almost like a job. And I don't want to look at it like that. I want to look at it as like, I'm having fun playing this awesome game, and you guys coming along, and the YouTube is just a cool side bonus. So yeah, that's how we're looking at it. But anyways, guys, yeah, that is your Saturday at the Springs. Quick little update today. Like I said, didn't get a lot done, not even enough for a time lapse. So yeah, thank you guys, and I will catch you in the next video.